Hello everyone, Jaram here. In today's video I will be discussing the absolute masterpiece known as Rent a Simp Rent a Cuck. I mean Rent a Fucking Girlfriend. Oh boy, here we go. As you may already know, I'm a big fan of romance, and especially harem mangas, and when I had first heard this show making the rounds I thought back quote oh cool, more of the same shit I like. Let's check it out, it might be another good time. That totally won't waste it for 200 plus chapters. Oh, how wrong was I? Before we begin, I have a confession to make. I'm sorry, like really sorry for the hiatus. Truth is I have been procrastinating big time making this video given the subject it's on, and quite frankly it did make me quite lazy. College being on the horizon didn't help much either, since I felt nothing but dread for that inevitability. Anyway, you guys know why we are here. It's time to take a shit on the dirty toilet bowl known as Rent a Girlfriend. I mean, what can I say about Rent a Girlfriend that hasn't already been said? Just a quick reminder, I consider myself an avid, and I mean avid enjoyer of romcoms, and especially harem animes. I just can't get enough of a good romance anime. I've seen many classics like Kaguya Love is War, Eyes, Fruits Basket, Ranma, The World God Only Knows, Ichigo 100%, and for people with really good taste, High School DxD and so on. Seriously, like that's not even scratching the surface of my romcom resume. And in my never-ending crusade of looking for the most elegant of romcoms, I remember stumbling across some clips for the opening of the Rent a Girlfriend anime, and I gotta say I liked what I saw. Very cute waifus, a catchy song, and what looked to be a wholesome harem anime I immediately had to investigate. I think the anime was only like an episode or two in at that point, and I saw the manga was I think 140 or so chapters, and I could be wrong, but who gives a fuck. Anyway, I actually skipped the anime and decided to just stick to reading it. Unfortunately, I will admit I did like what I was reading at first, but like the Mr. Incredible meme, dread would eventually overtake me as I slowly succumbed to the routine insanity that is Rent a Fucking Girlfriend. For the record, I didn't waste any money on this, thank Christ, cause usually I just use the good old web, and unless I really like the manga then I'll buy it. Anyway, in tradition of breaking down the punching bag that is Rent a Fucking Girlfriend, let's start with what makes the series so unbearable to begin with: the characters. I'm going to be discussing them from my least hated to my most hated. That should be fun, right? Honestly, now that I think back on it, Sumi is without a doubt my favorite of the bunch now, especially since she is actually the least offensive. She's the shy and quiet type, which I'm down for, and it's really hard to fuck that up, though I'm sure if she was given more screen time other than the 5 chapters she appears in, I'm sure the author would have found a way to fuck that up as well. I would have liked to see her more often, but that might have been detrimental in the long run, so maybe it's good the author forgot about her. I never did though. Just think of her as the Komi-san of this manga. Actually, now that I say that, that's almost exactly what she is. And as a matter of fact, Go Red Komi can't communicate, as not only is it the cutest shit ever, and much better than this cesspool of a manga, but it actually has a much better MC named Tadano. Wait, that's not right. I meant Tadano. Sorry, but God knows I need something better to balance out the Chronicles of Simp manga.
Oh, hello there!
I'm gonna be completely honest, I honest to God forgot about this bitch cause she only has a handful of appearances like Sumi. Granted, she appears more than Sumi, and while I don't find her as offensive either, the reason she's higher on the list is because she actually wants to try and help Kazuya to stop being a cuck, which could have been a noble cause. It now helping someone with not a lot of confidence try to confess to the person they like, which is a nice thing to do and all that, but let's face the facts. This is Kazuya we are talking about, and that simp does not deserve to be happy, so yeah. It's like when you know someone who is just so pathetic you can't help but feel sorry, so you try to help them, but all that shit is just going to waste. Let that be Minnie and Kazuya's relationship in a nutshell. Alright, when I first started reading this manga, Ruka was who I would have considered best girl, since I thought she was the most likable at first, but wow, did that drastically change over time. Granted, I never actually hated her, but she did start to get on my nerves with how desperate, sly, and annoyingly persistent she was in her endeavor to win Kazuya's affection. Another reason I started to root for her less and less was because I quickly came to realize what her endgame prize would have been, and that would mean getting into a relationship with the most pathetic protagonist in all of romance anime. So I think her not ending up with Kazuya only for her to eventually move on and finding some other schmuck would be best case scenario for her, as any other fucker off the street will net her a million times more happiness than anything Kazuya would have ever provided in his pathetic life. Honestly, I know she's interested in this loser for the sake of the plot, but why the fuck would anyone in their right sense of mind waste any time with this cuck? Especially when he's dead set on simping for this other girl, no matter what it fucking takes and for what? All cause her heart skipped a beat? I mean, talk about having shitty standards. If anything, I consider the tale of Ruka to be a tragedy. I mean, think about it, just a simple fun-loving bubbly girl that is the unfortunate victim of attempting to pursue a relationship with a toxic fuck who won't give her the time of day unless he is forced to, but does keep her around as a fucking backup bitch in case his plans with the first girl go wrong. I mean, talk about a fucking scumbag. Poor Ruka. She deserved better.
No, God!
Alright, we are down to the top 3 shitheads I hate most in this hemorrhoid of a manga. Now you may be wondering why Mami is #3 and not higher, since if you know anything about her, you clearly know that this bitch is meant for the streets, but honestly that's not what I think she was meant to be at all. If anything, I think that she is the secret hero of the drags on forever manga. I mean, Rent a prostitute girlfriend. Now some of might be saying, Jaram, WTF are you talking about? How is there anything redeemable about this slut? To which I say, after analyzing and eventually skimming over 200 chapters, I have come to the conclusion that the reason why Mami is so adamant on trying to mess with Kazuya's relationships and why she continues to be this rogue element whose only purpose is to cause chaos and fuck with Kazuya's head is because she is trying to save the other girls from the terrible fate of becoming Kazuya's girlfriends. I mean, think about it. The first we see of her, she dumped Kazuya after going out for only a month. So clearly she was fed up with his bullshit. When she comes back, she thinks Kazuya has a new girlfriend only for her to talk shit about Kazuya at the mixer thingamajig they were at. But the ignorant Chizuru, having an amazing work ethic, oblivious to the kind of shithead her client is. So Mami from then on decides to take it upon herself to sabotage Kazuya's relationships with the other girls by any means necessary in order to keep his grubby hairy palms from destroying the lives of innocent rental girlfriends everywhere. I gotta be honest guys, when I finally understood her game plan, my opinion of her almost did a 180. However, there is one little fucking problem. This dumb bitch has had many opportunities to expose this dickhead, and yet she never follows through. Granted, I'm all for some good torture before striking the final blow, but there is such a thing as it being fucking detrimental, and for that I think Mami is almost as fucking stupid as the next 2 insufferable fucks we have left to talk about. In the end, I support Mami's quest to destroy Kazuya, but she is just so incompetent that it makes her almost just as bad as the main heroine of this godforsaken manga. Out of all the characters in this, I consider Chizuru to be the most frustrating. Now, although she has the unfortunate destiny of ending up with a Kazuya, the fact that she put off confessing how she really feels for so long is understandable actually. I mean, if I was in her shoes, I'd also want to put off actually getting with a hairy palmed, sweaty toxic loser like Kazuya as long as possible too. Unfortunately, that also comes with the cost of the patience and sanity of the reader, and for that I have come to actively hate Chizuru for her fucking stubbornness and indecisiveness. Also, that cat face she makes when being stern is not cute. Sorry Chizuru, but you are not Komi-san. Please stop. Lastly, her fucking catchphrase "he is just a client" just infuriates me to no avail. Chizuru honey, please just make this simp's dreams come true and just fucking get him laid so we can be done with this shit. Oh yeah, speaking of simps.
Boo, you stink!
Hoo boy, we have finally made it to the end. The dreaded MC shithead of this manga, the reigning asshat, simp, and cuck himself, fucking Kazuya. Again, what can I say that hasn't already been said about him? Every bad thing you heard about him is true, and while he has done a few noble things, mainly saving Chizuru's life and helping her cope with her grandma's passing, that is really all there is to it. The other 99.9% of the time he is either second guessing himself on where he stands with the girl he likes, always fucking pussying out of a confession, even when the moment is fucking perfect, simping for Chizuru by renting her with his tuition funds his parents give him, spending unholy amounts of money, jacking off to pictures of his ex, and making the same stupid fucking blush/shy face every time a girl even looks at him with goo goo eyes. And the absolute worst fucking thing he does is lead on Ruka. I mean, sure, he has told her a few times he is in love with somebody else, but instead of absolutely cutting her off and standing his ground on his decision, he still hangs out with her, works with her, and keeps acting as if she is in control of their relationship status, when he can just tell her to fuck the hell off, because he has already pledged his life to forever simp to another girl already. I gotta be honest, in my last video on harem animes I said that Ichika from Infinite Stratus was my most hated protagonist in not just harem animes, but all anime in general, and I must say, I was wrong. Congratulations Kazuya, you are now the absolute shittiest anime protagonist of all time, and I highly doubt anyone will be taking that crown from you for a long while. Only thing I guess left to say is fuck you Kazuya. I hope you burn in hell, or better yet, I hope Chizuru realizes that she is wasting her fucking time with this boy and trade him for a better man. That would be the best case scenario at this point. In conclusion, I have one last confession. As much as I'm ashamed to admit it, I didn't drop this manga until I was literally at chapter 200. Now don't get me wrong, I was already wise to the act, but for some stupid reason I kept holding out hope that a confession, any fucking confession, would happen, just to progress this fucking story. But like a lot of things, hand over heart, it was just blind faith. This manga is the definition of insanity. For 200 chapters I kept expecting a different result, that being progression, but instead I was hoodwinked, bamboozled, until I finally said fuck this shit. Out of curiosity I decided to see if it was finally over, especially since I heard the author finally decided to wake the fuck up and actually make some progress. On a side note, I thought it was funny Chizuru was the one that declared to be Kazuya's real girlfriend, and not Kazuya finally confessing, which if you think about it, she had to make the first move, cause if it was up to him, this shit would go on another 100 chapters. Anyway, due to that revelation I decided to still put it off. At this point I just didn't care until I decided to make this video. So as of the time this was uploaded, chapter 248 is out, and guess what? Just fucking guess. Yep, right back to the status quo. Fuck rent a fucking girlfriend. Thanks for watching. Again, sorry for the hiatus. I still hope to make videos on anime and other shit. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.